There we go. I'm back to got my right list up there. Ryan, are you there? Welcome to the program.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Hey.
Hey,
So my
you're in
question,
Houston.
I'll be,
I haven't seen the news today, but are you guys what? How are you? You're in Houston. Are you guys gonna get?
yes, we're battening down the hatches. So,
Yeah, worried about you guys
uh-huh.
down there. Well,
Yeah, it should skirt us just a little bit, but kind of over about an hour and a half to the east of us in Beaumont, and that area is going to get hit really hard. So,
it's really, really tough.
um, so
Our
we'll see.
prayers
Hmm.
are with everyone who is even remotely in the path. Anyway, so
Hmm.
you're okay. So tell us how we can help you.
Hmm. Um, well, the previous caller there had some of the similar stuff that I'm dealing with my
Ryan, she
spouse
was
as
calling
well.
about you. You're sitting, you won't talk to Debbie?
No, no, it's
Oh,
not.
okay.
Me and
Different
Debbie are not
situation.
connected, but different situations,
Different
but
situation.
similar in the well, sort of. The my spouse, my wife, is kind of the same. She's just kind of non-repentant about things, and I'm at a point where I feel like I need to do something to kind of get her attention. And but I'm in a place where I can't really separate or do something that drastic because I'm in a career change at the moment. And so she responds to financial and embarrassment. And so my question is kind of about consequences. When you have a boundary, you keep getting stepped on and hurt. Is what are some ways to have some consequences when you can't just leave, or is that even an option?
Well, I would be hard pressed to know one where you couldn't separate in some form or fashion, but I don't know all the facts. So, but what is she? What's your problem with her? What's she doing?
Well, she as I was telling Albie, she kind of got an addiction with men. She's I discovered she's had a couple of affairs this last year.
She's discovered.
And
You wait a minute. You've discovered.
I,
Is that
I,
right?
yeah, I've discovered that she had a couple of affairs this last year.
Wow.
And I have hard evidence of that. Like it's not just a suspicion, but she won't admit it at all.
Well, you have hard
And it's
evidence, and you've shown her the
hmm
evidence.
I've tried to, and she won't even take a look at it.
What
She's
is it?
like
What kind of
just
evidence
flat
is it?
out denying. Video and audio evidence
Oh, you have
that was
videos of
that
her
was
with another
obtained
man.
from her sneaking this other man into our home a couple of times, and then
Oh,
the audio from them being in the house.
oh,
Yeah.
that's what we
Hmm.
call very, very evidence-y, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's evidence.
Yeah.
Okay, so and she's telling
Um,
you it didn't happen when you got the video.
yeah. Basically just says it didn't happen, and that um, she's she has finally admitted that she snuck him into the house, but that nothing else has ever happened.
Well,
But
you got the audio of
it's
the
got the audio. Yeah.
of the size
Yeah.
and the sound effects, right? Um,
Yeah.
so what is your question then? What I mean, this seems
Um,
pretty cut and dry. You say, "Look, I caught you in the act. I don't
well,
care what you say. I got the evidence." So I'm not here to
yeah.
argue, sweetheart, whether or not you had affairs. I'm here to say, where do we go from here, and what do you want?
Right. Right. And that's when I have not had great boundaries. And so I know that, and
Yeah,
I'm been growing into that. And
that's great.
I'm kind of at that point. I'm kind of at that point where I feel I've gotten to where I realize I've got to protect myself. Um, but I'm not in a place just to, walk out and separate financially. So, I'm just trying to see if there's
What
any other
because you
option
need
or if
because
that's really it.
you need her money.
Yeah, I mean, supporting and paying the mortgage, and I don't necessarily think I should be the one to move out. I think it should be her. But I don't know.
But
I'm
you've
just kind of
said
stuck in that spot.
you've said I want you out, and she says I'm not going.
No, I have not actually said that to her.
Oh, well, you know what I would do, Ryan? Are you planning on? I mean, do you want to put this back together? Are you planning on divorcing her, or do you want to save the marriage? What do you want?
I do want to. I've been trying to save it, um, and we've been in counseling. I'm seeing my own therapist as well, and then we've
Are
been.
y'all
He
are
was
y'all in
also.
marriage counseling now?
Uh, we were, and she has bailed out, citing financial reasons, because now that I'm unemployed, she says we
Well,
can't afford
go
it.
to a
But I'm still going.
go to a pastor. It's free.
But she won't do that because she is a not really she doesn't really
Okay, so
believe in that and doesn't want to do something with Christians.
okay, okay, so real quick question: does she want to
Hmm.
put the marriage together?
She says she does and wants to keep it together, but the evidence of that is really not there.
Okay, and do you want to?
I do.
Okay, all right. So then you have to figure out. Um, you got to figure out a path that has the greatest chance of that succeeding. All right. And given what you said about her, that she's still in denial, sounds like she's saying she wants it, but
Hmm.
she doesn't want to work on it. So we're
Hmm.
going to believe not what she says, but what she does. Okay. And then
Hmm.
your responses have got to be dictated on not what she's telling you, but what she's actually doing. And having a stance is going to drive, like you're saying, some kind of leverage or consequences to where she's either got to join her words and give up her behaviors, or she's going to join her behaviors and you're not going to listen to her words anymore. Those are the two options. So if I say I want to put the marriage together, but I'm unwilling to do anything, well, I'm just I those don't go together, right? So, but here's what I would
Hmm.
suggest you do, Ryan. There are a lot of ways to separate without being separated, right? Does she interact with
Hmm.
you? Does she get things from you in the house? You scratch her back. I mean, what is she getting from having somebody around that she's uninterested in working on anything with? What's her payoff here?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean,
Okay,
I'm around, but
yeah, but what
I'm
does
not
she
really
what?
sure.
Well, why don't you ask her? Say, look,
Hmm.
you're out there, you're with other men. You've done, and I'm not going to argue about that. But you're still living here. You say you want to work. What are you getting out of our relationship? And I would go back to the
Hmm.
way that I worded it before. I would ask her, what do you want for this relationship? What's your vision? Why are
Hmm.
you here? Why are you still here, Susie? I don't get it. And what do you want?
Hmm.
I mean, I'm really open but I would ask her, what do you want? And if you want that, how are we going to get there? And then I want to see you stick to that plan. Okay. And here's kind of the requirements. If you want to work, then I would make the requirements and they're going to have some consequences. Okay. But here's what I want you to do. If I were you, here's what I would do. You want to figure out a separation, there's financial parts of this, you own a house together, other stuff. Before I did anything, because you have big questions there, I would go talk to a really good family attorney and say,
Hmm.
tell me where I stand. Tell me what kind of consequences I can bring to the game here. Okay. One of the things that you can do, and I don't know how it works out with your particular P&L and balance sheets and all of that, but one of the things that people do all the time is they will get a legal separation that protects them financially while they still work on the marriage and they're not divorced. But that takes a good family attorney to figure out how to do. So I don't know what kind of consequences you can have that you're going to want to live with the consequences of your consequences until you find out what those actually are. If you're telling me that the finances are the biggest thing holding you back here, okay?
Yeah.
And I don't like to see people make stupid financial decisions, but at the same time, ultimately, you can't let a seasonal few financial things that might not be long standing anyway. We're talking about your life. We're talking about your marriage. We're talking about your soul. So I would hope that this can't be at the top line financially driven, that it can be values and faith driven first, and then we work with the finances. So I would want you to figure out, Ryan, come on, you've got a woman that's had two affairs, and it's time to say, you know what? I'm not going to be cheated on,
Hmm.
and I'm not going to be faking a marriage. And so you got to tell me, sweetheart, what you want here. And if you want it, I'll join you. And I want it, but it's going to happen this way, or I'm not going to play this game anymore. And then you find out what you are enabling her with by her staying in it. And then that's where a lot of your leverage is. Okay. That's the way I would
I
look at
see.
it.
Mm.
And I would
Okay.
join a really good support group, Ryan. Go find a group of, people that have been cheated on. Go to a divorce recovery group. Even though you're not divorced and
Mm.
you're trying to avoid a divorce, just have a
Right.
support system or a struggling marriage group or celebrate recovery or something. I want you to be really, really supported in this process so she doesn't have all this psychological power with you.
Right. Okay. I'll do it.
All right, man. Come on. Come on. Get back in charge. Get back in charge. Don't let this, you got video and audio evidence, and she's still running the show. Come on. We,
Yeah.
we got to get you where you're a little more in control of what you end up living with. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Ryan. Thanks for your call.